Do they not realize that this is going to happen? This is going to happen. And they still play with fire. They still play with fire, so you gotta make sure they get burned. Welcome back, warriors. Welcome back to Psychopath Exposure. My name is Kira. I hope you had an amazing Thanksgiving, because I did. And I wanted to talk to you guys today about these rotten scumbags that just cannot stop stalking their exes. These psychopathic, narcissistic, sociopathic losers with a controlling, obsessive, compulsive addiction to someone that doesn't want them. What is it about these psychopathic predators that inspires them to continue to bury themselves in a hole by stalking their exes who have already put a restraining order injunction on them? They've already been arrested. They've already had tons and tons of bouts and court litigations and all sorts of trouble. And they just cannot stop. They just won't let you go. Bunch of losers. Where did you meet these people? My God. These are the lowest of low. These are the evil scourge of the planet. I want to read a comment that just came in by Lisa B. This was in response to a video I made a few days ago about when the psychopath stalker X tries to play the empath card, the empathy card. All they're trying to do is fool the jury and fool the judge and fool the friends and all the people they're running a smear campaign on. Because we all know there are no empaths, all right? Those psychopaths are the farthest away from any type of empathy because they're incapable of even processing any type of real empathy, much less normal levels of quote-unquote neurotypical empathy. Lisa says, Kira, this was an excellent video. Everything you said fit my ex-boyfriend to a T. I was with the piece of shit for 3 years and have been no contact for over 5 years. He stalked me, left notes on my car, showed up at my work when I was leaving at the end of the day. I changed my phone number numerous times, and he would obtain it and call from different numbers. He was addicted to drugs and, as you said, made the situation 10 times worse. Well, to make a long story short, he ended up going to prison for 2 years for other things, and I had peace for a while. One day I went to check my mail, and there was a letter from the state penitentiary that he had written for me to come visit him. I never responded, and it has been about a year since he was released. He is still on probation until January. My friend says he is not done yet, but I pray he is. He has found a new supply, but that didn't stop him previously. I feel for anyone who has had to deal with these monsters. I feel you too, Lisa. Thanks for sending that in. That is exactly how it is. That's exactly what a lot of people that I've been working on, especially this month, it's crazy, isn't it? It's just crazy. They get locked up, and then they come out, and they keep on. They do it again, and then they get thrown back in. The best thing that could happen, is, some shit happens to them while they're in there, because believe me, they're gonna be somebody else's bitch in jail. They're already a bitch, but they're gonna be somebody else's bitch in jail. Let me tell you that. But yeah, once they find someone else and they obsess over somebody else, they obsess over another supply that they target, someone else they're just gonna go crazy with. Good, that's the best thing that could happen. You know what, you gotta just stay clear of that situation. Do not even try to warn the new supply, because let me tell you, these people just will turn on you and they just will not believe you. Like, if you got out, you're out. That's it. But yeah, I've been working with a survivor for quite some time, and I'm just gonna briefly just mention some bullet points here. I remember, like, this guy was just atrocious. This guy just did atrocious things to her property and to her, and it was just a total nightmare. And she finally got that piece of paper, you know, that restraining order injunction, which, let's be honest, guys, it's just a piece of paper, you know. And an unhinged psychopath on cocaine, on meth, it's not gonna give a damn about no piece of paper. Okay, but you gotta be ready to protect yourself and to defend yourself. You gotta be ready to call the police. You gotta be ready, all right? Because once you have that piece of paper, that's an order. They're ordered to stay away. That's not to be taken lightly. That's not just gonna be a slap on the wrist. That's instant. Instantly, you go to jail for that. All right, and depending on what you do when you break it, depending on what charges you get, ooh, it's not gonna be pretty. And if you got other charges against you too, that's gonna be taken into consideration. The judge doesn't like when you go in there and you got some other charges, let me tell you. They do not, instantly, you're already frowned upon, all right? Anyway, so as the story goes, she finally got that piece of paper, and, you know, she went to a festival, and that motherfucker, just like I had predicted, I told her, I was like, somehow he's gonna find out that you're there, you never know. Showed up, and he was waiting for her. Luckily, nothing happened, but she didn't call the cops. You know, she could have just gone to a security. That there's cops all over the place in festivals. You know, he was just staring her down. He waited for her, like by the concession stands or the bathrooms in that area. I guess he must have been waiting there for hours, just assuming that at some point, you know, she would have had to take a piss or something, right? Just standing there like a fucking total dumbass, because that's what they do. They're stalkers. And it's like, I told her, why didn't, you know, what did you do? No, I just took off with my friends. I got so scared. And it's like, yeah, but, you know, there's cops all over the place. You show them that piece of paper, you know, that motherfucker's done. And it's like, now, like, you had your chance. You blew it. Now, God, I hope nothing bad happens to you. And something bad happened. Something bad happened. Luckily, she was able to get out of that situation. The court, all that stuff with the courts dragged on. It was a pain in the ass, but the judge already had it in for that motherfucker. He was just tired of that shit. And long story short, the psychopath is locked up right now, facing 3 years. 3 years, not 3 weeks, not 3 months, which sucks. 90 days in jail sucks. 3 years. Think of it this way: if you have a child, say you have a son or daughter, and they're 2 years old, that means you're not gonna see your child until they're 5. If the judge even grants you visitation rights at that point, you know, depending on if that was the mother of your child that you were stalking and that you got thrown in there for, right? You know what that is, not to be able to see your child for 3 years. I mean, the psychopaths don't care about their kids anyway. But that's horrible. But you guys understand that that's horrible. But you see, the psychopath, it's, what the fuck is wrong with them? Do they not realize that this is going to happen? This is going to happen. And they still play with fire. They still play with fire, so you gotta make sure they get burned. You gotta make sure these predators get burned, because that's what they want. That's what they want. That's why they do this shit, right? It's like they know that's where they belong, because they're the scum of the earth. They're the bottom feeders. That's why They do what they do because somehow, some way, it's like they have to get put right where they belong. This is no joke, guys. This is another level of a nightmare. This is beyond just being cheated on. This is just some deranged individual that does not realize that they're not loved, they're not wanted, they're not desired because of the shit that they have done. They do not realize. In their head, it's like, don't worry, I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna prove to you how much I love you. It doesn't matter how much you say you love the other person, dumbass. They don't want you and you're being creepy. You deranged fuck. Stop being creepy. Stop being creepy. They don't get it. It's like you have to drop an anvil over their head like Wile E. Coyote. And they'll still get up and they'll keep coming at you. You know those dumbasses that they're being held at gunpoint by the police and they're being tased and they keep coming at the cops. Those fucking crazy psychos. Like that's what we're dealing with here. That's what we're dealing with here. When I talk about this, when you read comments like this is what we're talking about. Those deranged fools. Because that's what you gotta be mental to do some stupid, dumb shit like that. Like, imagine getting away with something that should have put you away already, right? You got away, you somehow beat the system, you somehow pulled it off, right? And
instead of being in your best behavior, what do? You go and you get yourself into some trouble again. Like, imagine just being like, oh my God, like, thank you, God, for sparing me this time. I'm just gonna be a good boy or a good girl for the rest of my life. I'm just gonna lay low, right? I'm just gonna do my groceries, go to work, hang out with some nice friends, throw some barbecues, just live the simple, just the quiet life. I'm gonna stay from anything shady. I'm not gonna hang around with any gang or the old gang members or any dumb people that I used to roll with. No, like, just completely legit. Just live an honest, easy life that really doesn't take any effort to just be chill, to just stay under the radar. Just chill, right? No. These people, it's like the very next day, they're showing up at your job. They're hiding behind the bushes waiting for you because they're stalkers. It's like they're kids. It's like they're kids. They think this is like some sort of game. Right? Let's just hide behind the bushes here and pop up when you drive in just to tell you, here I am, you can't get rid of me. You creepy fuck. You're a loser. You think you're so cool, you think you're scary, you're a loser. It's beyond creepy. But then, I read comments like this and it's like, I get it. I know. Especially if they're addicted to drugs and they just lose their shit and they come at you and you fear for your life. How can you not fear for your life? How can you not? These people are out of their mind. They're out of control. There's no reasoning with them. You can't talk your way out of this. You're not supposed to be talking to these people, period. This is when you really got to go no contact times 5 billion with these predators. You can't be having a conversation with these people. I just read, this might be off topic, but it kind of relates. This is from another state, not even here where I live. Someone got stabbed today. An old man got stabbed today. And when I read the story, he was helping some bum, right, with some clunker car that I guess he had a flat tire or some shit. And as he was helping him, the bum just stabbed him. Cops came, and there was a quarrel. There was some shit went down, and the cops ended up shooting the criminal, the stabber, right? And unfortunately, they both died. The old man died. What did he do? He was being a good Samaritan. He was trying to help, right? And that's the thing. You try to help these people. You try to help them, and they end up turning on you like that. These are the people that, you took a vow with you, like if you married them, right? These are the people that they're supposed to be your rock. They're supposed to be your partners. They're supposed to be, that person that you trust. Like, no matter what happens, like even like imagine, being cheated on. You're being cheated on and you're angry. You got to terminate that relationship, right? But now imagine, your ex-wife or your ex-husband or your whatever, they cheat on you. And instead of just being, fuck you, and you throw their shit out the fucking balcony, you cut the shit, you get your divorce or whatever, like, you got to do that. And it sucks, right? And it sucks. And you're brokenhearted, and the whole relationship and all the memories and everything went down the drain, right? But now imagine that you get the bright idea, right? You get the bright idea that you're just going to start stalking this person now. You're just going to start calling them, and then you're going to get another phone number, and you're going to call them, and then you're going to wait for them when they get to work, before they get to work, after they get to work, when they leave work, you're going to be waiting for them. You're going to start calling all of their friends, right? Harassing them, right? Co-workers, you're going to create smear campaigns. You're going to dedicate your life to being a creepy stalker that eventually the cops are going to put you away. And when you're in jail, it's like, what are you here for? Like, what was the end game? What was the end game? Just being locked up so you can be by yourself in a cell? It all amounts to nothing. It all amounts to nothing. You see that? It all amounts to nothing. And what's interesting is how they all seem to like follow the same patterns, the same way that we talk about the narcissists following the same patterns. The stalkers follow the same patterns too, especially nowadays with all this technology that we have. It's like they'll call you from a number. You change your number, and they'll obtain it. They'll hire some rinky-dink, PI on the internet. They'll give them some information on you. They have access to some deeper files. Excuse me. They have access to some deeper files. They pull up some information on you. They think they're top shit now because they paid someone $50 to get that info. And a lot of times the info that these people feed you is false. I don't know if you guys remember. There's something about Mary, and Ben Stiller hires a private investigator to find his ex-girlfriend, or the girl that he went to. I think, was it prom that he went to? And when the guy can't find any more information, he just feeds him some bullshit. He feeds him some bullshit, and the guy's like, oh shit, and he believes it, right? He believes it. He gets all depressed about it, and it was just bullshit. They'll feed you bullshit, and you'll get yourself into trouble for believing some bullshit that some bullshitter gave you. All right, some bullshit intel that some bullshitter gave you. All right, you're just asking for trouble. So that's what they do. And it's frustrating to see that they could be enjoying their life, just taking it easy, working on themselves, meeting a new romantic partner maybe, and trying to get it right this time, getting into a 12-step program if they have a substance abuse problem, getting into anger management if they have a history of anger problems, right? Resolving their situations, whatever court situations they have, making amends to those that they have hurt and damaged, but they choose to be a creepy stalker. It just baffles my mind. And if you haven't been through something like that, Lisa, I'm sorry that you're going through that, and I do pray that when he gets out, when his probation is over, that he's done with you. I really hope that's the case, but I wouldn't be surprised if a year later, or 6 months later, or even right away, the first thing he does is somehow reveal to you that he's still watching you. And you're gonna have to do what you gotta do to set him up and get him back in there. Because apparently that's where he belongs. That's what he wants. And he's going to get it. You can't be afraid to do that. You can't be afraid to do that. Otherwise, you're going to live your life in fear. And predators prey on victims. So if you have that victim mentality and that victim energy, then that kind of, it makes you more tasty to the predator. You got to be able to get your shit together, do your research, plan, prepare, and press charges to the fullest extent. Do not hesitate. Do not pull punches here, because believe me, they will continue doing this shit until they die. I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're doing the best to live your life, to move past this trauma and drama. You can't be ruminating about this all the time. You can't be living in fear, wondering what's going to happen in January. You got to live your life, you know. You got the power of the universe behind you. This is happening for you, not to you. This is a very shitty situation, but a lot of good. There's a lot of silver linings in all of these things, especially when you navigate your way through it and out of it. So just keep fighting, Lisa. And to all of you out there that are going through a narcissistic entanglement, an abusive relationship, toxic relationship with someone, an addict, an alcoholic, and God forbid, a psychopath, stalker. You know, you gotta stand up, you gotta fight back. You gotta run from those relationships, you gotta cut them, you gotta do what you gotta do legally to break away. You can't continue to enable people like this, because they will bring you down and make you miserable. If you'd like to work directly with me so you can get a little encouragement, a little push, a little nudge on how to figure this all out and do the right thing to get yourself out of this, to put yourself in a position to win and to survive this nightmare, then do not hesitate to reach out. I have a private one-on-one coaching program. Would love to work with you. Let's see if we're a good fit first. So just shoot me an email and give me just a briefing on your situation, and I'll give you more details. And if you're interested in that, please contact me soon, because it is the holidays and I have a pretty substantial waiting list right now. And I know that during the holidays is when these predators like to really hurt you. So shoot me an email today if you'd like to work with me on that. And in the meantime, I hope you got some value out of this video. And please like, subscribe, and share your experiences in the comment section with the rest of the community so we can keep helping each other grow. All right? I hope you guys have an awesome day and an awesome weekend. My name is Kira. This is Psychopath Exposure. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Take care.